victors in the legislative elections. This is a new victory for Ange Razouel, who backed the presidential candidate Razonari Pian. The final results of the legislative elections will be confirmed in a month's time by a special electoral court. In Tunisia, Prime Minister Ali Larid has handed in his resignation, ending months of deadlock. The new designated Prime Minister, Mehdi Diouma, will form a cabinet of independents to lead the country to fresh elections. The situation in Tunisia is grim, with a deep economic crisis and a threat from Islamists blamed for the death of two opposition politicians last year. After 3 weeks of fighting in South Sudan, negotiations continue in Ethiopia to obtain a ceasefire. Talks include a proposal to release prisoners which, according to the opposition, must accompany a ceasefire agreement. The opposition also denounces Uganda's armed intervention to support President Salva Kiir, but according to Kampala, troops are simply helping Ugandan nationals leave the country.
4 military airplanes.
Yaya Toure has been named African Footballer of the Year for the third year running. The 31-year-old Ivorian player was awarded his trophy in Lagos in Nigeria. Yaya Toure plays for Britain's Manchester City. His performances won over the jury made up of professionals. He beat his closest rivals, Nigerian John Obi Mikel and Ivorian Didier Drogba.
To be honest with you, it was quite tight, to be honest with you, because it was a good rival. There was good opponent in front of me, I was thinking maybe I will lose it, but I think I have lucky today.
The best team and best coach of the year went to Nigeria and the national team's coach, Stephen Keshi.
The best coach of the year.
The governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, has repeatedly denied any involvement in the alleged unnecessary closure of traffic lanes on New Year's Eve, as he announced the sacking of his aide Bridget and Kelly, and gridlock was allegedly engineered to punish a mayor who did not endorse the governor's re-election. CNN's Brian Todd takes a look on how the unfolding scandal might affect a potential presidential run-up in 2016.
Chris Christie, many of us expected to see. Humble, apologetic.
I am not a bully.
And yet it's that Jersey tough guy style which launched him to political stardom.
Are you stupid? On topic. On topic. Next question. Good. Thank you all very much, and I'm sorry for the idiot over there.
It's none of your business. I don't ask you where you send your kids to school. Don't bother me about where I send mine.
And you know what? Let me tell you this. You know what? It's people who raise their voices and yell and scream like you that are dividing this country. We're here to bring this country together, not to divide it.
According to the book Double Down about the 2012 campaign, Christie insisted that Mitt Romney get his approval to raise money in New Jersey. The authors say Romney wasn't pleased. Quote, "It was like something out of The Sopranos."
We're running a business here.
But with his sights set on 2016, has Christie gone soft?
Governor Christie has spent a good part of the last year trying to run away from the idea that he's a bully. This whole incident just blew that out of the water.
Chris Christie now says he's not a focus group tested, blow-dried candidate or governor. But does that style still appeal as this scandal plays out? We asked people here in Washington and New Jersey.
If it was an election year was coming within 6 months, people would say, hey, we don't trust this guy,
I like his style. He's very blunt. He's out there. He's different compared to other politicians and his own party that just beat around the bush.
New Jersey political analyst Matthew Hale says Christie helped himself with that news conference, but he's got to stay in front of this scandal, has to be engaged with the investigation. Hale says if Christie doesn't do that, or if information comes out that he knew of the bridge closing around the time it happened, the scandal's not over. Christie's over. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.
We now take our second break. Sports is next. Welcome back. The Willingara football field has been named after Ambassador Dr. Kenneth D. Jackson, the Gambia's ambassador at large, and a Pan-Africanist working towards the realization of President Jammeh's development aspiration. Dr. Jackson, as we hear in this report by MS Jallo, promised to help develop the football field.
At large, Dr. Kenneth D. Jackson made the pledge to transform the Willingara football field into a standard football field during a ceremony which saw the community playing ground named after the Pan-Africanist. Ambassador Jackson has been very supportive of youth and sports activities in the Commonwealth area, and now the youths of the community want to reciprocate his generosity. The Willingara football field used to be the biggest football ground in the area, used for both training and hosting of Nawetan and other football competitions. Due to its strategic position, the Willingara football field has attracted footballers from catchment settlement, and it might interest to note that several talents pass through this field to become very good players. One such notable footballer is Mustafa Tubabo Judge, the national football team captain. But over the years, development has threatened the future of the football field. The expansion of the Willingara market and the construction of the lower basic school has taken large parts of the field. As a result, the Willingara Youth and Sports Committee is working hard to safeguard this prestigious asset of the youths, and this unveiling of the renaming of the field after Dr. Jackson is one such effort. Ambassador Jackson watch as a giant portrait of him was unveiled to confirm the renaming of the field to Ambassador Dr. Kenneth Jackson Football Field. He was then led on a tour of the field before laying a foundation stone for the construction of a perimeter fence, a milestone development for football in the community.
Willingara Youth and Sport Development Committee has been an offspring of our Willingara Youth Development Association, and we have been here for over the past 4 years, and through the support of Dr. Jackson, we have been able to do some developmental projects within the Willingara football field. And we thought, as a matter of good gesture, naming the venue after him will not be a mistake on our part on behalf of the youth of the community.
The Gambia's ambassador at large was surprised but delighted to have the community playing ground named after him. He promised to work with the Willingara Youth and Sports Committee to develop the football field.
When the people have gone so far, I just have to lend more support and look at ways to get this field not only closed in, but get it developed as a venue. You know, what we try to do is encourage people to do what they can, and then when you do it, when people see you doing what you can to develop yourself, to advance your objective, your stated objectives, that encourages more help than begging. So this is one of the things that I do in cultivating interest for the Gambia internationally. So again, with something like this, it encourages me to do the same, but also it develops my commitment to gather support to develop this and make this a very special venue, not only for the community, but hopefully a standout venue in the country.
The Pan-Africanist who is working towards the realization of President Jammeh's Vision 2020 and a better Africa is motivated by the Gambian leaders' development aspirations, especially the youths who are the future of the country.
My primary motivation is first the president. The president's a young man. I really admire him. I respect what he's accomplished in this country from the time of the intervention to date. So no matter what else happens, I have to lend my support to try to make his vision a reality, do what I can to contribute to make his vision a reality.
The event was graced by the Commonwealth National Assembly member who recognized Dr. Jackson's immense contribution to youth and sports development in his constituency, describing his efforts as one that complements that of government. The unveiling ceremony was preceded by a semi-final match between Ambassador Jackson Football Club of Tabokoto and Willingara's Tubabo United, which the latter won. Mohammed Jallo, Grts Sports.
Before we take leave of you, a quick reminder of the day's top stories. Personnel of the UN system in the Gambia and their families have undergone a seminar designed to enhance their understanding